it is me, Pearl, from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned in Tarot, and we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy inside of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment, and if we want to see change, we do need to shift and change the energy within, and hopefully my readings help you do just that. This is the first reading I'm posting on YouTube. I have taken a little bit of a break. I've pulled back my energy from doing so many readings for free because I have been pouring energy into a cup and not receiving anything in return. So I still do readings. I'm just doing them for my members only on passes.com/pearlsprayers. So there was an 8/8 portal reading that was really, really good, and I did that one and released that on, I think, Wednesday. So that should be available for you if you're interested in that. And if you don't want to subscribe on a monthly basis, you can, of course, click on the reading and purchase the single reading if you're just really longing to hear what the energy is like from the 8/8 portal. I'm going to say out the gate that I'm having pretty low energy today. I'm feeling like short-tempered, which usually for me is how I react to sadness. And of course, I've just had a recent loss in my family and some grief from that. And my sister said yesterday, the body keeps score. And I really feel that way. So if I'm a little down in the dumps today, it is circumstantial. I also did a reading that I was going to post on TikTok and have decided not to post it, but that reading also was showing that there was frustration in the connection, in the divine connection. But I just wanted to say that before I started, just to say, like, my ego, my person is feeling bleh. But one of the things that happens when I channel is that usually I feel uplifted and I shift my energy through the reading itself, as hopefully it is helping you to do as well. If you want to support my channel, and I strongly urge you to do something to support my channel, over the last few years, everything that I wanted to do, I have been unable to do, primarily because I'm not receiving support through the social media. I'm seeing people viewing the videos. I am seeing people, benefiting from them because there's a return and they're coming back and you're watching again and again. But I'm not seeing an exchange of energy. So I strongly urge you to subscribe as a member on passes.com, to send donations, to book private readings. And of course, if you're struggling financially, which I completely understand, please do all of the things that you know will help my channel grow. Liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. Those things are necessary if I'm to continue to bring these messages to you all. On a happy note, the Wednesday night sacred text discussion group was a success. It was very fun. We are reading the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Complete Papyrus of Ani, as translated by E.A. Wallace Budge, who was a prominent and controversial figure in early Egyptology. And we will be reading a more modern translation, a more updated translation, probably the Faulkner, that I will be suggesting next. And then we're also going to read something that was written by an Egyptian scholar so that we can actually get a perspective from somebody who is literally immersed in the current culture of Egypt and would have, I think, more of a reference point for understanding a lot of what was written in ancient texts years ago than somebody coming in like a colonialist who is basically feeling superior over the people that they are studying. So we're going to read that as well. And we talked about reading things from many different sacred traditions and also information about quantum healing, quantum physics, and all of those things, and the intersection between those texts. And that's something that's very dear to my heart. I'm going to be starting to focus my energy really in that vein, I think, more than tarot. So if that interests you, if you're intrigued, if you're as big of a nerd as we are, please come join us. It's going to be every Wednesday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know that's kind of late. I picked a late time so that we could hit the time zones here across the U.S. and try to get a time that works for everyone. And hopefully a time when you have like quiet and you can just come and hang with us. It's pretty informal. We really are just reading it together, talking about things that we find fascinating and interesting, bringing up points that we'd like to explore. So don't feel you have to have, a PhD to join us. You do not. And we welcome people that have a background in sacred texts, religious studies, art history. If you're multilingual, because you will also be able to bring perspective to us, and we would really value that as well. So please come as you are, and it's totally free. I do have PDFs that I am putting together, maybe not each week, but I did do one for the first week that has like the Egyptian dynasties, and some pertinent information to the E.A. Wallace Budge translation. So if you want access to those PDFs, again, passes.com/pearlsprayers is going to be your place to go. It's going to be where everything you need is located. So take advantage of that. Now let's begin the Friday love reading. I already feel better in my energy being here with you all and talking about what I'm very passionate about. All right, we're looking at the overall energy of the masculine for this week ahead, and we do have the Eight of Cups. This card also came out in the reading that I didn't post. It was in reverse, which is interesting because I have no reversals in this deck yet. It's new, and I tend to just take reversals as they come. I don't like intentionally reverse my cards in my decks anymore. So seeing it upright is interesting because I shifted my energy to come into this reading. But this divine masculine is really, in this case, there is definitely a strong feeling of walking away from something. And the red coat here, my eye is really drawn to, is the root chakra. And so that could potentially be, he may be walking away from financial stability, from his roots, but he's doing something that will actually increase his stability and help him to lay down new roots, because in the Eight of Cups, you are walking towards a higher calling. You're leaving behind the things of the past, and some of those things of the past are good, right? Some of them are not, and usually you decide to leave when there are enough cups that are filled with poison than there are cups filled with nourishing, soul nourishing liquid. I don't know what else you would say there. So he is really wanting to walk away from the way that he has been living, the way he has been earning his keep, and go towards something new. And in some cases we talk about this card as being a return, someone wanting to return, to come home, to their true calling. And of course, this is the relationship reading, so we are seeing this as somebody who wants to return to their divine counterpart. Against this backdrop of the Eight of Cups, we have the divine feminine, who is in a Seven of Swords energy, keeping to herself, not revealing everything, which I think is challenging for the masculine energy. It may be triggering an urge for him to run away again, because he has not, like, he doesn't know what's going on, he's afraid to approach and ask. I think he's afraid of the answer, that he's going to find out that she has, someone else or maybe multiple partners in the wings, like thinking about the worst case scenario with her. That's why he's afraid, I think, of the discussion, is who knows what she's up to. And I also get a sense of responsibility there, which is that he feels like she would be within her rights, to be doing whatever she wants behind the scenes, because he hasn't been prioritizing her. And I think the walking away from whatever he has been prioritizing is because of this fear he has of what is happening with her. So there's a reluctance to approach because he doesn't know what she's going to say when he gets there. And there is also an urge, a desire to return so that he can, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock, so that he can truly discover where she's at. But for the feminine, what I'm picking up is that this not being as open, not being as revealing, it is a strategy. It is a strategy that is, it's not a manipulation. So please don't mistake me. It's not her intentionally trying to manipulate this masculine to do what she wants. It is simply for her an understanding that for as long as she is open and revealing everything, her emotions, and expressing them to somebody who is not capable of that, that person will continue to seek sanctuary in her openness and what she reveals without actually revealing his feelings. So she's thinking about how this person avoids his feelings and hides his feelings. And she knows intuitively that if she continues to stay in that dynamic, that this masculine energy will remain in that cycle. And there is a desire to leave that cycle. I also think that with the moon here, we have some subconscious things that are coming up, some fears and some anxieties about potentially what the masculine is doing behind the scenes also, whether or not he would, be stepping out again, or just simply, I think just simply sabotaging the connection is coming up for me. That was in the reading that I didn't post on TikTok, and that was a big fear that both of them had. So she's kind of avoiding her feelings about it. Part of this like hiding and not revealing things is also that in the past, when she's been very vulnerable and very open, it's not been reciprocated. And there is a feeling of the futility of continuing to express your feelings when someone is not reciprocating. So that's the overall energy right now. Both of them have their backs to one another. Notice the masculine energy with his back to the feminine energy with her back to the masculine. They are turned away from one another. Right now I'm picturing the Eight of Swords, which is actually from this Cosmic Tarot deck, that shows the masculine and feminine standing in a circle of swords on top of ice. Thin ice is what I always think of. And they're together, but they're not facing each other. And that's kind of what this feels like. It's like, the feminine is like, I can't look at you and watch you continue to, abandon me or reject me or whatever it is, or just remain silent, have nothing to say, no comfort for me in any way. I feel the feminine energy has tried to accommodate masculine energy's avoidant energy by really being soft and saying like, listen, I know things can be overwhelming for you. I'm here when you're ready to talk. There's no pressure. And I get this sense that the feminine energy is feeling like that vulnerability that she has is just completely ignored. And a frustration of like, I can't keep continuing to do that. It doesn't really make sense for me. It's like, when does this person start to have compassion for the way it feels for me to be in this place of insecurity? Like, when does that happen? Because if I'm just catering constantly to this avoidant behavior, but no one is accommodating my needs for if there's anxious attachment there, for that confirmation and security that I need, then like, what are we doing? That's very much the overall energy of this week. The light of these cards is a homecoming and a surprise, because the Seven of Swords can be about being surprised or having something unexpected happen. So this week may have an unexpected return. I think it would feel unexpected though, because there would be this sense of like, I give up, I'm walking away, I can't keep doing this. And then, if it happened in that, where when you're in that space, it would be very surprising to you. That's kind of what I'm picking up. Now, the underlying energy is the thing that makes me lean towards the light of those cards being a homecoming, a surprising homecoming, is because in the masculine headspace, the overall energy for him is this Ten of Pentacles, which is material happiness and fulfillment. It is the family, the abundance, the prosperity. There is success, really, I'm feeling, and this feeling of finally having some kind of a legacy, that is supporting the Eight of Cups. So there could be situations where masculine energy is walking away from a past, from a family that they have, or from a marriage or a commitment that they had. But I'm not really seeing that, because I'm actually seeing him walking towards the Ten of Pentacles. So that's why I'm seeing more of a homecoming to what would really be bring a lot of happiness and fulfillment in the material. The Divine Feminine here with the Judgment card, this is seeing a return of the feminine, or if the return happens, a reconciliation. So we see the feminine being in a state of forgiveness, forgiving the masculine for whatever has taken place to cause him to take such a long time to come towards her. And a feeling of, it's a card about salvation, like being saved as well. So there is an energy, a potential energy this week, that this feminine has been in the dark about what the masculine is up to, but he is intending, and I don't even want to say intending, because I want to say it's solid. With the Ten of Pentacles, it's happening. He is returning to her in an unexpected way to reconcile. And in a way, the feminine energy doesn't even see this coming, because there has been all of this silence, and she has kind of a feeling of defeat I'm picking up on. So what is this divine masculine actually thinking about the feminine energy? We have the Justice card. This is what came up for the masculine energy in the reading that I did for the 8-8 portal. So, very interesting that it's back again. This divine masculine is still thinking that this feminine is feeling burned, and that her energy may be I want to say defensive or hard, like that she might not be like that soft energy that she greeted him with initially, which is like, I understand that your feelings may be overwhelming. I understand that it may be difficult for you to express yourself. And so, I'm here. It's a safe space to communicate with me. Take your time. Do what you need to do to feel comfortable. It's okay. I'm getting this sense that he thinks he has tested divine feminine's patience to its absolute limits, and that now when he thinks of her and thinks of how unfairly he's treated her, he's really concerned that has basically caused her to be on the defensive with him. Or just, if she were to do that, it would be just. He's thinking, if she were to be harsh with me, if she were to be firm, if she were to be, maybe even say like, hey, you had your chance, like that would be fair and that would be just. And so I do sense fear coming from that card. So he's having fearful thoughts about divine feminine. Divine Feminine is thinking about the Divine Masculine, that there is maybe nothing left to salvage, and that she may just have to let this go. And this is really hard for her because, obviously she's been here over and over again. And each time she just can't believe that after all of this struggle together, that there's just no movement or no motion. And that when she does walk away in that Eight of Cups energy, when she does walk away from this masculine, that she loses all of those dreams that she has been building. And there is really this frustrating feeling I'm getting when I'm thinking about how it's all crumbling and there is potentially nothing left for her to hold on to. And it's just like a devastating feeling. It's like a really devastating feeling that comes when she thinks about letting go of everything that she has been trying so hard to build with this energy. Divine Masculine, what is he actually feeling towards the feminine? Is this the same reading? Because this is kind of crazy. I don't know. I guess y'all were meant to see this reading because this is very similar to the one I did for the 8-8 portal. Holy moly. We have the Five of Swords, which is the card of defeat, of giving up. So when the Divine Masculine thinks about the feminine energy and thinks about how unfair that he was to the feminine energy, it basically makes him want to give up on the connection and perhaps walk away, because when he's honest with himself there with that sword, when he's honest with himself, he recognizes that the no communication has been incredibly unfair to her, and he just feels really defeated by how could I possibly make up for what I've done, how I have treated this feminine energy. I'm also seeing him feeling like maybe he thinks the feminine energy has given up, which, she's thinking about doing, because what else can you do? If there's no communication, if there's no movement and no motion, there's really nothing else left to do. So, it makes sense that the masculine would be thinking and feeling this way. The feminine energy is feeling towards the masculine this Three of Wands energy. This is a card that is associated with patience, and I do think the feminine feels patient, but I also see this because she looks like she's just kind of doing her own thing. She's got like this free-flowing energy, but I do think she feels it is really time for something to happen. Now, the thing is that above this card is the Five of Swords. So I actually think that the feminine is as patient as she is, and she is still patient. She would not be giving up because she is impatient. She would be giving up right now because she doesn't feel there's anything left for her to salvage. This masculine hasn't given her any words. He hasn't given her any actions. And all she can sense is just this defeated energy coming from him. And so for her, there is definitely a feeling of it is time. It's time to let go now. Time to let go. The current energy in the connection, or not the current energy in the connection, sorry, different reading. The, what Divine Masculine is saying to the feminine, we have here the Nine of Cups. He's not saying anything to the feminine because the Nine of Cups is about being selfish and it's about wish fulfillment. So he sees this feminine energy as his wish fulfillment. But in the Nine of Cups, when you're in a shadowy energy, and I would not say this Divine Masculine is in the light right now, is very much about keeping your feelings to yourself, not sharing what's in your cups with others, like feeling if you give it away, there won't be enough, hoarding. So this feminine energy is literally sitting there looking like, come hither. She is seductive. She is beautiful. She is tempting to this masculine. And yet none of his emotions, he's not willing to express any of these emotions to her. So really, he's not saying anything except like, I wish we could be together. That's it. I wish we could be together. And the Divine Feminine is like, okay, we literally can. And Divine Masculine is like, no, because I can't tell you how I feel. Divine Feminine, what are you saying to the masculine energy? We have the Ace of Wands and the Six of Cups. I want what we had, which was a blissful childhood dream. I strongly desire to have what we had. And so this is nostalgia. This may be why the Tower is coming up too, because it's very difficult to let go of everything that was promised in the past, everything the Divine Masculine promised and, alluded to, his desire, all of that. The feminine is feeling this like pull of like, I want to be able to have you. I want a reunion with you. This is what I want. I want you to reunite with me. That is what she is saying to the masculine. It's also possible that she's not saying much either to him. That she's sort of like allowing the things that were said in the past. It's like a feeling of like, if you don't already know that I want you, there's nothing more I could say to convince you. At that point, it's on you and not me, right? Divine Masculine, what is he actually doing towards the feminine? We have here the Strength card. So he's literally this could go either way. And I feel like that's how he is thinking. Either he is going to be brave and approach the feminine energy, or he's really keeping his own desire to go towards her, to be with her, at bay. Like, he has this strong pull towards her, but he's resisting it. So it's either or here, and I'm sure we'll see with the happiness potential what that actually is. Divine Feminine, what are you actually doing towards the masculine energy here? The Sun card. So the Sun card is about playing. It is about experiencing joy, healing of the inner child, enlightenment. And it can be about too much of a good thing. But I'm not picking up on that energy from it right now. I'm picking up on this energy of the Divine Feminine is remembering that the masculine energy is really this innocent child, like within himself. He has this innocent inner child that experienced whatever turmoil that caused him to act the way that he acts. So she's just allowing for the behaviors that he's displaying to be coming from an unhealed place. And she's choosing to see a healed version of this masculine energy. She may be imagining that, envisioning it, visualizing it, or simply holding space for it. I also see her as just playing right now, just having fun, just doing what feels good, and hoping that in that space where she feels good, where she's having fun, that the masculine energy will join her. To see the Strength card and the Sun card is giving the 8-8 portal that we have just passed through. It's Leo energy, it's Leo season still, and I feel very much that it's significant. It's like the divine feminine is choosing to imagine, right? She's choosing to imagine a masculine energy that is healed and whole, who is able to come towards her bravely and tell her what he feels about her and what he wants with her. That's what she is doing. So she's holding space for that right now. She's actually doing beautifully despite her fears. She is really tuned in to the divine and really, really utilizing all of the tools and coping mechanisms that she has been learning in recently. What will create more harmony between what this divine masculine is thinking, feeling, saying, and doing? Yeah, the Two of Swords. He needs to make a decision. He has been sitting in this position for too long. The stagnancy here is extreme, and he keeps leaving this decision up to someone else. Like this is like saying to somebody like, oh, I'd really like to have a relationship with you, and the other person is like, okay, let's talk, and then he doesn't say anything and is like, well, no, I'm gonna wait for her to like start talking about the relationship. And it's like, what? What would I say? This would be a one-sided conversation, which it has always been. So divine feminine has gone within rather than try to figure out what this masculine really wants from her, because in the end she can't give him anything that she really hasn't already offered to him. And so she's just, going within and forcing by that behavior divine masculine to choose. And he has to make a choice. He has to choose. He keeps going back and forth between these two decisions. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. And the truth is, you can sit there for an eternity and watch everyone else live their lives and then regret that you never lived yours. Or you can just make a choice and see what happens. Divine feminine, how do we create more harmony between what you're thinking, feeling, saying, and doing? The Eight of Wands. You need to go with the flow. You need to, first of all, in the past, I may have pulled this card and said, oh, you need to communicate with your person, send a message. No. Look who's sending a message in this image. The masculine. So you need to open to receive communication from the masculine energy. You need to let the masculine energy communicate with you. Do not do anything to try to communicate with this energy. And just go with the flow. There is a fast moving energy that is here. If you keep doing what you're doing, which is already awesome with the Sun card, like you can't really get any better than that. And just let this masculine come to you, because from what I can see, if you can just surrender to the flow, it's happening fast. What's the happiness potential between these two lovebirds? Pretty damn good. Ace of Pentacles here. And the Star card. Now, the Ace of Pentacles is what has to happen. The divine masculine energy must make this gesture to the divine feminine, a physical gesture. This is directly speaking to the feminine, actually giving her something, a gift of some kind. He when he does this, when he is finally capable of choosing to be brave and to do justice to the connection, to not give up on the connection, to keep pushing through the fears that this divine feminine energy is closed off. And remember that what is supporting the energy this week is the Ten of Pentacles, which is like, you can't lose. So for the feminine too, we have this hope, which turns into belief. Once hope turns into belief, what you are desiring comes to pass. So if you can shift your hope to belief. And the way you want to do that is with the body. I was talking to my friend, and I would say she's definitely, I feel like we're co-mentors for each other. Her name is Salandria, and I was talking to her yesterday, and she was talking about the importance of whatever you are affirming. When you say the affirmation, you need to then listen to your body, because you have to fully embody what you are affirming for it to start to manifest. And saying something like, I am with my divine masculine energy, or I'm with my person in the present. When you say that, you need to pay attention. You say it out loud and pay attention to how your body responds. If you feel calm, if you feel secure, if you feel like that deep knowing gut feeling, or people feel it in different places. If you feel any kind of discomfort or disdain or resistance, any resistance at all, and you will feel it in your body, you'll feel it physically, that resistance is what is needed, is what you need to shift in order to get into a receiving energy with this person. All right, your oracles. Oh my God. Look at this. We've got the Tower and to be fair, which is literally what you're thinking about each other. So this is a piece of advice for you both. We've got the to be fair card. I'm sure that's going to give us clarity on the Justice card. And then, of course, the Tower. We're going to get some tea about the Tower. So let me grab the book for this. Let's do the Tower card first. Number 16. The energy of the Tower can seize our lives in a variety of ways. It could be losing your job, a sudden and unexpected loss of residence, a bill that comes out of the blue that wipes out your savings. The Tower brings swift change that shakes up life as we know it. All the structures we have grown accustomed to, the security that we perhaps have taken for granted, are ripped right from under us, and the feeling of being flung into the air takes over. When the Tower appears in a reading, it may speak to a significant moment in your past that caused a major disruption and as a result left you picking up the pieces. It may also arrive as a warning, a sign that something important in your life is about to change. Much like the train's rumbling before it arrives at the station, heed this warning as the train is on the tracks and will come on schedule. The message here is to be prepared. Tap into your intuition. You may already have an idea that changes at work are on the way, or that your once rosy relationship is withering. You may have picked up the vibe that your landlord is planning to sell the building. Whatever it is, the Tower can be a gift, as it will allow you to plan your next move. Because vultures need warm thermal updrafts, they are unable to fly at night. I thought about how these communal creatures, these big, bold, and, during the day, intimidating birds, would be thrown into a state of panic if they were suddenly tossed out of their nightly nest. I imagined that initial state of frenzy. It is the same sensation that we humans feel when the foundation we have become so accustomed to is ripped right from under us. The vulture, however, is no pushover. It doesn't cower or fall prey to disaster. On the contrary, it is a fighter and scavenger. This creature finds opportunities in death and brings you the strength to rise up through the dust into the sun's warmth. The vulture represents community, harmony, and restoration. Now, to be fair, let's look at to be fair. This is number 38. There's an Amish buggy going by. I can hear the clip-clopping of the horses. This says, life offers experiences that are challenging and experiences that are nourishing. Yet over time, they strike a balance. You move from being, from stasis to doing, from discovering to loving to letting go to being again. Life is a pendulum swinging between all of these states. You will always oscillate back and forth between doing and being. If you are not content with where you are at this moment, remember that all experiences have their place. Accept them without judgment, and you will see how the universe adjusts in perfect balance. That is a very, very important message. Accept them without judgment, and you will see how the universe adjusts in perfect balance. You reap what you sow. For every cause, there is an effect. Wondrous things will be revealed now. The relationship message is, can you find a way to achieve fairness right now? This is a time for listening as well as speaking, for understanding as well as asking to be understood. There is much to be learned, and you will learn it if you remain open and objective, weighing options and considering all sides. Your heart wants to connect to others, so allow for a balanced exchange of ideas and actions. The best kind of relationship is one in which there is mutual benefit and each party feels heard, valued, and respected. Be fair to all. All right, well, those are your messages for today. And I hope that helped you. My cards are falling over. I hope that helped you. And if you would like more readings like this, please go to passes.com/pearlsprayers. If you go to the link in my profile or the link below, turnedintarot.com, you'll see as you scroll down a Pearls Prayers, which is a members only area. There is free content there. If you do not want to pay for content, there is free content there on that page. It is not all only for subscribers. There are things that you can benefit from. So please go and follow me over there, which is totally free. I would so appreciate the support. Thank you very much and have a great week.